It's almost go time. All right, welcome to Spotlight Media. Today, our show, I have a special guest with me. It is Kevin Irvine, the new lead principal at St. Thomas Aquinas. We're going to have the pleasure to talk with him and kind of get to know him and welcome him to our area. Welcome, Kevin.
Troy, thank you, and thanks to Spotlight Media for having me here today. It's a pleasure.
Fantastic. So you are going to be the new lead principal at St. Thomas Aquinas. And if I said that correctly,
You did great.
I know that there's a pronunciation at the end of that name that I want to do the right. But you'll be the new lead principal. And so tell us a little bit about how you got here, what you're looking forward to doing, and that kind of thing.
Well, we go back to New Mexico, born and raised in an Irish Catholic family, the youngest of 6 kids. Graduated from high school there, went to New Mexico State University. And the last thing I was going to be was a teacher. I was going to law school, okay? And so I got my master's and I took a little bit of a sidestep and said, I want to go on national student exchange. So I went to the University of Minnesota, something drastically different than New Mexico. And I was sitting on the 9th floor of Middlebrook Hall, and it was 79 below zero, 17 inches of snow, only the 3rd time in the history of the University of Minnesota they closed it. And I looked at a report called A Nation at Risk, and they said, we need teachers. And I said, I can do that. Maybe that's my way of giving back to my country in some form of service. My family has a military background. My dad was in the military. I've had brothers in the Navy, Air Force, all of that. So I said, let's do that. So I came back and got my certification, my master's in education, got recruited to teach and coach in Colorado, had a great start to my career, opened up in middle school, and a special place in my heart if you're a middle school teacher. I did 11 years there. Meanwhile, I'm working for a company called The Learning Forum, and they offered an opportunity for me to go to California and to be an administrator there, the director, which is like a superintendent or principal. And I started with 1,000 students, and I had a staff of 250 teachers. We were all over the country and all over the world. We had camps at Notre Dame, UCLA, Stanford, Colorado College, Claremont colleges. We were in Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Indonesia, and we did academic camps. And I had 250 teachers. As I said, we started with 1,000 students, and when I left, we had 2,500. So that's where I cut my leadership in education teeth, so to speak. And then that took me to back to Ohio, and I did 5 years at Hudson High School, had a great time there. And then I left for a little bit, did some consulting and some speaking and those kinds of things. And then when I was ready to go back, I said I want an inner city experience. So I went to McKinley High School, had a great 8 years there. While I was there, I met a man named Scott Giammarco, who was the head boys basketball coach at St. Thomas Aquinas. And I said, hey, Scott, I'm looking to get back into coaching. Do you know of any opportunities in the area? I wasn't looking to go to STA. I figured he was set. He said, you know, Kevin, I'm looking to shuffle my staff. And he interviewed me for about 50 minutes, hired me, and it was a great, great time. I was part of that back-to-back conference championship, the district title that we won, and the Elite Eight. A couple of years back, we were in the Elite Eight, the regional finals. So this opportunity came open, and I feel like timing is everything. It was the right place, the right time, and the right situation. We've got a great leader in our new superintendent that's been there a year now from South Carolina, Dr. Stephen Jones. He picked a great, great president, and everybody in this area knows of the work of Joe French. And so it is my task and duty to carry out the vision of Joe and Stephen. And we have a tremendous staff. We have tremendous alumni, great kids. And I believe STA right now is Ohio's best kept secret, and we're about to let it out of the box.
Oh, that's fantastic. So it's safe to say, with everything that you just said, that the kids at St. Thomas will have a really good perspective on geography.
We're going to talk about the world, baby.
You've been everywhere
Yes.
and done everything. And so as you put all that experience and places that you've been and cultures that you've been with, how do you bring that into St. Thomas?
Well, you bring the world into the classroom. We know that every day our classrooms look very, very different than they did 10, 15, 20 years ago. The diversity, both ethnically, socioeconomically, And that is a great strength that we have. And the fact that we have great academics, we have opportunities like WOS Ed that we're implementing this year in our science program with our science teachers is going to attract some incredible kids that want to be a part of a support program that enhances science, technology, engineering, and math. We do everything based on a faith based institution. We are a Catholic school, and that's at the core of who we are: faith, scholarship, and excellence. And so people are attracted to that. And we are creating something that you can't get in other places. All due respect to our counterparts in the public school area. When you have a school like us with the great student to teacher ratio, an experienced seasoned staff, great leadership, great family support, some magical things are going to happen. I think it's going to draw a lot of people to our place right there on Reno Drive.
Absolutely. So and also listening to you, and you talked about faith, I could hear at the beginning of your journey in education or where you started, there was a calling to do what you do. So maybe you could describe a little bit about that passion that puts you back in the school environment. Describe that calling to us.
Sure. I'm the youngest of 6 kids in an Irish Catholic family. And so growing up in New Mexico, it was very, very important. Faith was a part of who we were. And so as I've journeyed all over the country and all over the world and been exposed to so many different things, time and growth gives you perspective. And so as I think about who I am today and what I want to be as a father, what I want to be as a teacher, what I want to be as a coach, and now what I want to be as a leader, at the center of that is faith. And everything else comes together from that. And I think we are in a place in our country where more and more people want meaning and purpose. It's great that we have the wonderful programs and athletics and all of that, but we want to raise up young men and young women that have a faith, that they can be leaders in faith, that they can be leaders in communities. And in our situation at St. Thomas Aquinas, that's where it starts: faith, scholarship, and excellence.
Fantastic. I also, heard you talk a little bit about, and we talked a little bit about this off air too, but the team that St. Thomas is putting together and the structure. And teams are something that always excite me because I'm a team person and all the people have their parts, and putting the best team together to be successful. Tell me a little bit about the team here.
Well, any successful school organization has to put the right people in the right positions. And again, I mentioned the superintendent, Stephen Jones. I mentioned Joe French, our president. And he strategically, I think, has made some great moves over the last 12 months. And we have a different design of what we're doing. Jessica Emmerich will be in charge of our middle school, its culture, its discipline, its hiring. Scott Giamarco will be in charge of our high school, its culture, its discipline, its staffing, all of that. And then I will support with my experience those two and the entire staff. But it does take an entire group. And I think knowing that we have a group of people who we have experienced people 20, 25 years, we have people mid-career, we have new teachers, but they are, I think, excited about what lies ahead as far as the leadership they're going to be provided, about the opportunities that we're going to have, the programs that we're going to do, the partnership with Walsh University that we have. And we're going to grow that. We're going to grow it very generically. I believe in a systematic implementation of change over a long period of time. The Japanese call it Kaizen. Here's some of that international experience. Small incremental change over a long period of time, and you get great success and great results. There's no quick fixes. We're going to ground ourselves in tenets of success, in faith, in academics, set standards of who we are and what we're about. And those that want to be a part of that, we want you, okay? And we're going to build it, and we're going to build it to last, okay? And we will follow nobody. We will lead. And so that's a message to, maybe our rivals that had some questions about our existence. We're coming, okay? And we're going to come, and we're going to make things great and even better than they already are, with the vision of our leaders that are already there and a wonderful staff and support group. So I'm excited to be a part of it.
I can hear the excitement in your voice. I can feel the excitement. Actually, I was thinking, as you were talking, I was thinking, I might be sitting in a locker room right now, being inspired to go do something.
Well, coaches need to teach more, and teachers need to coach more. And so I'm going to coach up staff. I'm going to support staff. I'm going to coach up kids. I'm going to coach up parents. And that's a great way to communicate because at the end, we all want to be a part of something special. And if you're watching this and you're a former student, an alumni, somebody in the community that really wants to invest something, time, resources, St. Thomas Aquinas is a great bet for you because we're going to go places, we're going to do things. You can be a part of it. I want to let you know I'm implementing what's called the President's 100 Club. And we are going to have people that are going to be in the business community that are going to go out and they're going to spearhead this. And we're looking for 100 people or businesses, associations that will donate $10,000 that will raise $1 million towards our $3.5 million goal for our capital improvement. And I have one commitment already, a gentleman that said he will handle a third of that, either individually or through the people that he knows. So the best thing that my audience and the people that are watching this can do, you want to be a part of something special, join us now because we're going places.
I can see that. I can also see, what you're saying there about your connection with the alumni and St. Thomas, and I'm starting to see where you want to go and where you want to be. I also want to know, as a student who comes into St. Thomas, how, what's going to be their perception of their principal? How are they going to know you?
Visibility, consistency, consistency, consistency. I will be everywhere. Okay. I believe you lead by being out there. You can't lead from an office. Okay. I love being there early. I love going to all the events. My kids are in college and won't be home, so I got plenty of time. So I'm going to invest that time. What they can expect is fairness, high standards, accountability. Anybody that I know that's successful, I'm talking young people because I've worked with a lot of them, and I've worked with them all around the country and all around the world. They want to be a part of something that has boundaries and expectations, and they want to be held to a standard, and we're going to do that. And I always say this, never let your self-esteem be determined by a 16-year-old, okay? So there's gonna be days they're gonna be like, oh man, yeah, because I love you, this is our standard. Because I love you, this is how we're gonna enforce it. Because I love you, we're gonna be consistent. And so they can expect to have what we call the Aquinas experience that you don't get anywhere else. And we're gonna create programs like we're doing already. We're going to create opportunities. We're gonna grow our athletic programs. We're gonna rebuild. We haven't gone anywhere, and we're coming. So get ready.
Again, I can see why first of all, I can see why you're the new guy. And I can see the excitement and the passion and the forward thinking. I know that's going to come across to your students from what you just said. And then tell me how that's going to come across to your teachers.
We have the most underrated staff, I think, in the area because they don't get the newspaper, the radio, the TV, except for today, that they deserve. We have people that have spent their entire career there, that went to school there, okay? Dee Strandon, I'll just shout her out, okay? We've got mid-career people that have dedicated their lives, and we have new teachers, okay, that have come aboard. What they want leadership. They want standards. They want expectations. They want to be supported, okay? And they want consistency. And so what they'll get from me is somebody that understands what they do every day, teaching and learning. Been there, done that, 37 years in 6 different school districts, 6 different schools, and we did it at a high level. They want permission. They have permission. And we want them to take chances, risks, great risks, risks that are in the best interest of kids, and know that we'll be there. We want them to fly. We'll be there. We got you. We got your back.
Love it. I love it. I'm excited. So we hit several of the areas. We talked about alumni. We've talked about the students. We've talked about the staff. Let's talk a little bit about the parents.
Listen, parents have an active role to play. Absolutely. And we're going to lean into the parents and we're going to lean on the parents. And we're going to say, this is who we are. This is how we define ourselves. And these are the expectations. And as the lead principal and as the assistant principals for both the middle school and the high school and our president, we expect those to be adhered to. And so we'll say to the parents, these are the expectations. We want you to coach your kids up at home. We want your buy-in, and we're going to communicate very clearly what those expectations are. And when they're not met, and they're not followed, they will hear and they will be communicated with. Because what we're trying to do is set their kids up to have not just an in-the-moment experience and success, but we want lifelong successful people. We want them, when they walk away across that stage their senior year from St. Thomas Aquinas, to go, those were the best years of my life. They prepared me for faith, for family, and freedom. And that's what we're going to do.
Fantastic. All right. So we've covered, I think, every area. We've talked about the building and what the building is going to look like. We've talked about the alumni. We've talked about the parents. We've talked about the students. We've talked about your role. So my last question for you, and wrapping it all together, would be when Kevin Irvine is finished here, what does it look like?
It's going to be a school and an experience that people will say, we proudly call it our own, that their kids and their kids' kids and their kids' kids' kids, that years and decades down the road, people will tell the story that they were a part of a beginning of a transformation led by Stephen Jones, Joe French, the assistant principals, the staff, the students, the parents, that I got to play a small part on. And if I can leave that as my impact as an educator, if this is indeed my last ride, and I hope I'm there a long time, that's my intention, that we can write off and say, you know what, we did great work in faith, we did great work in academics, and we left this place in an excellent position.
Wow, that's fantastic. I'm telling you, folks, I don't know if you can feel it in the camera. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm here and I feel it. I feel the emotion. I feel the passion. I see it in your eyes. That last question in terms of what is going to be your legacy that you leave here, there, I can tell you this, 100% of your heart will be there. And those people will feel that. I've got goosebumps talking about it. I'm excited for you. Is there anything else you want to add?
To Knight Nation, give us the opportunity to transition into where we deserve to be. I'll leave you with this. We're going to honor the past and we're going to inspire the future. We're going to honor the past, the contributions that all of you've made as students, as staff, as alumni, as donors, and we're going to inspire the future. We need you. We want you. We want your support. We want your prayers. We need your resources. We want to go places that no one thinks we can go. But with your help and your support and your belief and your prayers, we're going to make great kids great again. I mean, we've got the opportunity to really do something special here in Northeast Ohio. And God willing, and I believe He is, we're going to make it happen.
Well, as you referenced earlier, the secret is out. You let the cat out of the bag today. And I really appreciate you coming by and being a guest here. I wish you the best of luck. I know you're going to do great things for those kids in that school system. And again, I'm excited to have you. This is Troy Davis for Spotlight Media and the YSN Network. And we're pleased to announce that Kevin Irvine is our new principal at St. Thomas Aquinas.